I had the story saved, and then I think I accidentally pressed the wrong button and lost it just prior to the show. But never mind. What's his name? Hunter, Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter was in camp with Andy Ruiz, and he gives an interesting take. He gives an interesting take, an interesting perspective about the Andy Ruiz bloating up saga. It's very interesting because what Hunter said was that we had, get that off the screen. Get that off the screen.
It's a video game, so you won't get copyrighted.
No matter, I don't want to take no risk, bro. So, yeah, Michael Hunter gave an interesting take on the Ruiz blowing up situation. He said Ruiz did indeed cut down. When you saw the pictures, they were real. That was Ruiz genuinely cut down. But, and now here's the interesting part. He said that they got to Saudi Arabia 3 weeks prior to the fight. And he said in those 3 weeks, because they weren't really paying attention to the diet now. They weren't paying attention to the diet. They were over in Saudi. There were new delicacies. There were new dishes to try, experiment with. He said that Andy Ruiz blew up in those 3 weeks. Now, what's interesting about that is that there have been all kinds of rumors, talking about how Andy made a deliberate choice in camp to blow up in weight. Made a deliberate choice to put weight on after cutting weight. Now, this Michael Hunter's perspective blows in the face of those hypotheses, of those stories, of those theories, of those suspicions. It seems that Andy Ruiz and team simply lost track of the diet once they got over to Saudi Arabia. Phil Walker.
Yeah, man, that's an interesting take. But I also heard through some sources myself that Andy did start trimming down.
Yeah.
But like I tell people, it's trimming down just because you're trying to trim down, and going and working out and eating properly and trimming down are two different things. See, when you trim down because you absolutely have to, like fighters who actually have to make weight do, it's easy for those. Think about it. Those guys are 147 pounds, and then when they're on fight night, they're nearly 155, close to 160 pounds. Mm-hmm. You can put that weight back on in no time. I think it was that, again, something similar to exactly what Michael Hunter said. That was, he trimmed down, and then he went to Saudi Arabia, and he didn't follow his diet. He didn't stay consistent. And guess what? You put that weight back on fast because you're losing it fast. You're losing it not necessarily the wrong way, but you're losing it in a way that it's easy to put the weight back on. And that's just not good. That's not healthy. And, you lose a little bit of strength, and you also lose a little bit of stamina. And when you put that weight back on, it's never good. You never feel good when you put that weight back on in a manner in which you're just eating a bunch of junk.
Yeah. Yeah. Justin, do you have anything to add? You have anything to add on this story?
What was the question?
The story is that Michael Hunter, who was training with Andy Ruiz Jr., said that Andy Ruiz did indeed cut weight in the training camp. However, he lost track. They went to Saudi Arabia 3 weeks prior to the fight, and Andy Ruiz lost track. The team lost track of his eating, of the diet. He came off diet and didn't realize what was happening, and next thing he knew, he'd blown up to the size of a baby.
Yeah, well, if you don't weigh on that's that's so stupid because 3 weeks and you're like, let's say you're 260, and then you haven't weighed on the scales in 3 weeks until you realize you're 283. Like, the excuses are just coming out. You were a fat hog and you didn't train. That's it.
Damn.
Quesadillas.
Damn. Taking no prisoners. Andy Ruiz is a fat hog. A fat hog, and he didn't train. Is that what you said? I think he trained, bro. I think he trained.
I mean, you know what I meant. You know what I meant. Like, he didn't really train as hard as he could have and stuff.
You know something though, but here's the thing. Supposing he did train hard. Supposing he did train hard.
Best joke of the year.
Yeah, supposing, it's a hypothesis. So just hear out the hypothesis. Supposing he did train hard, but he was eating, especially over in Saudi, but he was eating even harder.
Well, like, he didn't realize he had blown up. That means he didn't weigh himself or nothing.
Yeah.
And he didn't see, like, when he pulled down his pants, he didn't see that his stomach, and he couldn't see his balls.
Uh-oh. Come on now.
His gut.
Come on now.
His fat gut, bro.
Yeah, let's just leave it as the fat gut, bro. Let's just leave it right there. Very much he looked.
He didn't win for 3 weeks. I don't believe it.
Yeah, didn't weigh himself for 3 weeks. Phil Walker. Andy Ruiz didn't weigh himself for 3 weeks.
Man, look, let me tell you something. Look, man, this is why it's so important to have the proper people in your camp. Okay? Let me tell you. And look, let's just be honest about this. You got a lot of professional athletes that, they will pay the money, okay, to make sure they have a nutritionist, to make sure that they have everything that they need to have in order to be successful. But that's the guys that are the great stuff. Okay? Yeah. So with that being said, it should have been no reason why Andy Ruiz, I blame not so much Andy Ruiz for that. I blame him for that, of course, because he overindulged in food. But his team, man, your team has to stay on top of you, man. That's why you got to put good people around you.
Yeah,
that was part of Mike Tyson's downfall. He didn't have the proper team around him. Okay?
Yeah. Hell yeah, Customato died.
Hell yeah.
He didn't have the proper team around him, and that was Mike Tyson's downfall. Somebody who could have been the greatest heavyweight to ever fight. But you gotta put the right people in place to keep you focused and help you maintain on the things that really matter. You have fun after.
I hope you have a healthy one. I hope you have a joyful one.
With your job
and
your career.
Yeah, it's a short career. It's a short career. It's not like you're going to be in boxing till you're 65. You're not going to be in the boxing ring till you're 65. It's a short career.